I'm breaking this video down into 5 things that are absolutely necessary for you to do if you want to lose 100 pounds in 1 year or less. This video is going to go way beyond what we have to do physically and nutritionally to lose this weight, so make sure that you guys pay close attention in the beginning because these things are absolutely vital in my opinion. Before we get started today, I just want to take the time to introduce myself if this is the first time that you're seeing me. My name is Savannah. I'm an exercise and nutrition coach, and I have owned my own business and personal training studio in Pennsylvania for the last 3 years. I've been working on my own fitness journey for the last 9+ years, coming on 10 this year, I think. And I have been working with hundreds of clients over the last 4 years. Through working with my clients and honestly on my own fitness journey, I have caught on to a few different things that we all have in common when it comes to losing either a small amount of weight or a really significant amount of weight, like 100 pounds. Losing any amount of weight can feel extremely daunting, especially when you don't know where to start. So I thought this video would be perfect for people who want to lose a significant amount of weight in a time frame like a year, because the more you know and the more prepared that you are, the better the chances of this happening for you are. This is not a small task, and this will challenge you in many ways, including physically, emotionally, and mentally. But if you can keep in mind this video and the things that we go over today, I think you will have a much easier time and see results way quicker than someone else who is going into this blindly. We're gonna talk about the #1 thing that I think you need to do before you start this journey. This is when the idea and the seed is still in your mind and you're like, I am ready to do this, but where do I start? The best place to start is with your why. Your why should run much deeper, I mean like emotionally to you, than just wanting your appearance to change or your strength to increase. Those outcomes are really awesome and they are 100% motivating, and they still can be part of your why. But a lot of times finding something a little bit deeper that is more heartfelt, that will truly lead you through the hardest times of this journey is gonna be really important. My own personal example of why I wanted to lose weight in the first place was when I started in high school, and really what I wanted was, I wanted to be skinny, I wanted more attention from guys, I wanted to feel a little bit envied by other girls, and I know that that sounds so silly looking back, but I think coming back to what my real why was at the time was that I just wanted to love myself more. I wanted to be confident. I wanted to feel good when I walked into a room, and I didn't want to feel self-conscious anymore around my friends when they took off their shirts and had cute bodies, or when I was around boys at like a pool party. So what I wasn't able to understand then was that my motivations for just wanting to look a little better weren't strong enough, because as soon as I was presented with something like a lot of food in front of me or an opportunity to miss the gym, I would take it because I'm like, appearance, it's not really important to me at this very moment. I don't care. I just want to have fun. So if you're someone saying like your 30s and the weight that you've been carrying for maybe 10+ years is finally catching up with you, and your doctor says, hey, you have high blood pressure, you're pre-diabetic, you're morbidly obese, those things, though they're triggering, you have to come up with a why from that. The motivation there should be that you want to live as long as possible and enjoy your life as much as you possibly can. That is something that when tough times come up in this journey, and they will, that you could look back on and find true and pure motivation from. After you find your why, I want you to find an accountability partner. This could be a significant other, it could be a coworker, a son, a daughter, a parent, a professional, so someone that you hire. It doesn't matter who it is. If your why is strong enough, it truly can take you extremely far on your own. But there are going to be times when you need someone to kind of kick you in the ass a little bit and push you a little bit further. So having a built-in support system for when these days inevitably come is going to be the second most important thing that you could do in this journey right now. I mentioned earlier that you need to find someone that's going to show you the type of tough love that resonates most with you. So for example, I think a lot of my clients gravitate towards me because I have love like a mother. You look beautiful. I am super empathetic and I will listen to you and I will hear you out. But at the same time, I think if you're cutting yourself too much slack on something, I will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If that's something that resonates with you, then you need to find yourself someone exactly like that. Someone who understands your struggles, but will not let you fall back on them time after time after time. The third most vital step in this process is that you need to establish the types of behaviors that you need to implement to be successful on this journey. I want you to think of someone right now or after you watch this video that has all the things that you want or is doing the things that you want to do. What kind of positive behaviors does that person have? I used to be someone who thought like, oh, role models are stupid, like I never really had one. But now I find myself embodying people that I look up to all the time and taking little pieces from all of them and trying to bring those things into my life and start doing the things that they're doing. I want you to sit down at some point and I want you to write down all of the major roadblocks that you have ever encountered on your journey to losing weight. Because I know that for most people, we don't just decide one day to wake up and lose 100 pounds. We have probably tried either at least once or multiple times before, and you have probably encountered a lot of different roadblocks, but that have been common themes throughout all of these different times that you've tried. Think about what kind of necessary steps will you need to take to overcome them. So now that we covered 3 very important parts of this process, we're gonna go on to the 4th most important thing now, and this is your diet. This is when you will actually see change in your physique, in the weight loss. The most important thing that you have to understand when it comes to weight loss is that you need to be in a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit will occur when you are expending or burning more calories than you're taking in. Yes, beverages do count. So sugary beverages like soda or coffees or whatever they are, they count as calories. So don't forget about those because I feel like a lot of people do. There are 4 different ways that you can expend or burn calories throughout your day. The first one is through intentional activity. So going to the gym, going for a walk, doing cardio at the gym or at your house, whatever it is. It's activity that you intentionally look at as exercise. There's also non-exercising activity thermogenesis, which is basically unintentional activity like you fidgeting or moving your feet when you're sitting in a chair, maybe parking a little bit further away from the store that you're about to walk to so you get in more steps. Things that you don't consider intentional activity where you're like, yes, I'm gonna go burn some calories. This is my workout. This is also referred to as NEAT, and this will take you very far in your journey. So remember that it's really important. There's also the thermic effect of food, but this does not really account for much of the calorie burn throughout your day. This is essentially the calories burned by your body processing foods that you're eating. And just as a little FYI, your body will burn the most calories as it's breaking down protein that you eat. So prioritizing protein in your diet is really important, but overall the thermic effect of food and your body breaking it down is not going to be the make or break on your diet here. So do not put this on a pedestal in comparison to the other 3 things that we're going to talk about today. The last component of calorie burning is your basal metabolic rate, which is basically your body and how much calories it takes to sustain just your everyday function. So if you were bedridden and you were sitting in a bed, your body would still be burning calories because it takes energy to just sustain your normal bodily functions. This is going to be the biggest overall contributor to your calorie burn. But on top of that, NEAT and your intentional activity are going to contribute a lot more as well. Your diet is extremely important because as we could see, there's like a few different ways to really burn calories throughout the day, but there's only one way that you can control what's going in, and that's literally obviously through your diet and what you're actually putting into your body. A lot of people focus way too much on the calories they're burning and not enough on what they're actually putting back into the system or your body. It's increasingly important that you look at your food choices and you really study them to see how could you make your food choices more goal-oriented. In my professional opinion, the best way to do this is to either keep a food journal or track your calories using MyFitnessPal or like a Lose It app. I don't think that this has to be done throughout the whole entire year, but doing this maybe for 1 to 3 or even 6 months will be a really great way for you to actually study your eating habits and for you to learn more about the foods that you're putting into your body. Basically, the way I feel is that the more knowledge that you have, the more power you will have. And in this case, you want all the power you can get. If you'd like to hear more about why I think calorie tracking is so great, you guys could check out this video right here in my nutrition playlist. And I'm just gonna go over 10 reasons why I think it's such a great method to try for at least a few months. This is also the point of the video that I'm gonna ask you guys, if you have learned anything so far, please just give this video a like so I can know that this is resonating with you and you wanna see more videos just like this. So coming back to what I was saying about calorie tracking, I actually put together like a little free PDF for you guys. I'm gonna link it in the description below and you can download it for absolutely free. It'll give you a little bit more information when I talk about macronutrients and what those are. And it'll also go over a lot of helpful hints on how you could lose weight without doing anything drastic. However, if you are interested in tracking calories and you wanna learn a little bit more about the foods that you're eating and what you're putting into your body, I will also include a calorie calculator, one of the ones that I just use with my clients all the time, in the description below. It's just a regular link. I'm not affiliated with them at all. And you guys could put in your information there about like your age and your sex and your height and your body weight, and it'll spit out a number for you that will probably be pretty close to what you should be eating if you want to lose weight. If you are not interested at all in counting calories, I do have 3 suggestions for you that you could start implementing right now. The first is that I want you to cut everything that you are consuming in half. So if you're having a muffin for breakfast, cut it in half, save the other half for the next day. If you're having tacos for dinner, Cut the portion in half, save the other half for the next day, only eat what you have in front of you. Doing this is a really easy way to implement portion control. In addition to cutting all your portion sizes in half, focus on eating mostly whole foods. And by whole foods, I mean foods with only like 1 or 2 ingredients listed. So eggs, chicken, rice, broccoli. That sounds boring as hell as I'm saying it. And you could spice it up however you want, add spices, add condiments, but sticking to whole foods will definitely be an easy way to limit your calories and make you feel more full at the same time while getting a really balanced array of micronutrients into your diet. The third piece of advice I'm going to give you is to limit yourself to 1 sweet food and 1 savory food throughout the week, and that's it. There's no exceptions to this rule because at this point in your life, you need to make serious behavior changes to make this goal come to fruition. Allowing yourself to have 1 sweet thing and 1 savory thing throughout the week should help satisfy those cravings without allowing you to go overboard. Doing this in addition to the first 2 things will yield you success if you stick to it, and it will not be as much work as, say, counting your calories might be. Lastly, we need to talk about physical activity. I have 4 suggestions for you that are really less suggestions and will absolutely guarantee your success if you implement these things. I think one of the best things that you could do is buy yourself a step tracker. I'll link a few for you guys below that are like all different varying price points, and they could have other functions. They don't just have to be step trackers. But for me with my Apple Watch, the biggest thing that I look for every day is just that I hit my step goal. One of the most important things with your step goal is that you make sure it's realistic. So if you get your watch and you wear it for a week and the average of that week says that you did about 2,000 steps, a realistic step goal moving forward for the next few weeks would be 3,000 steps. Once you get really good at hitting that step goal, then I would venture to bump it up to 4,000, do that for a few weeks, and so on. I have had so much personal success and success with my clients literally just from them hitting their step goal every single day. And the higher you can get that step goal, the better health outcomes you're gonna have and the closer you will probably get to your goals. I talk a little bit about this in the free PDF guide that I mentioned below in the description, but I think it's really valuable to try to intentionally exercise for 30 minutes per day, 5 days per week. This could look different from person to person. So if you're someone who is completely sedentary, getting in 30 minutes of intentional walking every day will be huge and a life-changing thing for you. If you're someone who has already started their exercise journey and you're maybe in the gym a little bit more, maybe lifting for 30 minutes per day, 5 days per week, that could be a game changer as well. The third suggestion is to always make sure that you're progressing what you're doing. So if you keep doing 30 minutes of walking for the next year, will that be helpful? Yes. But if you're at the point 6 months from now where 30 minutes of walking feels essentially like nothing for you, eventually your progress is going to halt and you will see a plateau because you're not further progressing yourself, getting into that uncomfortable zone. Once something feels too easy, it's definitely in your best interest to ramp it up and take it to the next level and make it feel a little bit challenging again. Okay, last but not least, the last suggestion is to prioritize your sleep. I know that there's probably a group of you that are listening to this and are like, yes, box checked, I already get 8 to 10 hours, that's awesome. But there's also another group of you that know that this is not an easy task. Though it isn't easy, I promise that it will pay off. Sleep and weight loss are very closely linked. So if you're extremely tired, your ability to make smart decisions around food and exercise are going to be impaired for sure. If you somehow push yourself to get to the gym when you're extremely tired, the workout is not going to be good and you're not going to be burning as many calories as you can be if you are feeling your best. So bad sleep is going to happen here and there, but trying to minimize it as much as you can is going to be a real gold ticket for you. Those are the 5 most important things that I believe you need to focus on when you are on a journey to lose 100 pounds in 1 year. If you landed on this video or you search for it, I want to let you know that I'm already proud of you because you're taking those first initial steps to get yourself started, and that's huge. I want to reiterate that finding your why is definitely the most important part of this journey. For me, my current why is that when I do these sort of tough things in the gym or when I do things that I thought I couldn't do, I further proved to myself that I'm capable of doing an array of different hard things. And the trust and relationship I've built with myself over time because I've done those hard things has been irreplaceable and truly invaluable to me. If you were looking for a why and you didn't have one, maybe try focusing on just bettering your relationship with yourself and creating a level of trust with yourself that you probably won't have with anyone else. I wish you the best of luck on your journey and I hope to see you on the next video. Take care.